My name is Dr. Zephyrin Vale. I work in a big city hospital. Every day, I wear my white coat, and I follow the rules. In our hospital, rules are very strict. One rule is very clear: no treatment without payment. If a patient cannot pay, we cannot help them. I always tell myself, this is the system. I must follow it. But one day, everything changed. It was a cold evening. The hospital was very busy. Nurses were walking fast. Doctors were talking loudly. Machines were beeping. I was tired after a long shift. I just wanted to go home. Then I saw her. She was sitting alone in the waiting area. Her clothes were simple and old. Her face was pale. Her eyes looked weak, but also strong in a quiet way. She held her chest and breathed slowly, like every breath was hard. I walked past her at first. I told myself, maybe someone will help her. But something inside me said, no, go back. So I stopped. I turned around and walked to her. Hello, I said softly. Are you okay? She looked up at me. Her eyes were tired but kind. My name is Kirian Voss, she said. Her voice was very weak. I feel very sick. I looked at her carefully. I could see something was very wrong. She was not just tired, she was very ill. Have you seen a doctor? I asked. She shook her head slowly. I don't have money, she said. They told me. I need to pay first. My heart felt heavy. I knew the rule. Everyone in this hospital knew the rule. No payment, no treatment. I looked at the front desk. The receptionist was busy. No one was watching us. I looked back at Kirian. She was trying to stay awake. Her hands were shaking. Please, she said quietly. I don't want to die. Her words stayed in my mind. I took a deep breath. I will check you, I said. She looked surprised. But the rules? I know, I said. Just come with me. I helped her stand up. She was very weak, so I held her arm. Slowly, we walked to a small examination room. Inside the room, I closed the door. My heart was beating fast. I knew this was wrong. If someone saw me, I could lose my job. But I also knew something else. If I did nothing, she might die. I helped her sit on the bed. Try to relax, I said. I checked her pulse. It was weak. I listened to her chest. Her breathing was not normal. I could see signs of a serious infection. This was not a small problem. She needed treatment. She needed medicine, maybe even more. Kirian, I said gently, how long have you felt like this? She looked down. For many weeks, she said. I tried to ignore it. I thought it would go away. Why didn't you come earlier? I asked. She gave a small, sad smile. I don't have family, she said. No money, no help. Her words made me feel quiet inside. I looked at her again. She was young, maybe in her early 20s. She should have a long life ahead. But now she was close to losing it. Please don't send me away, she said. I know I can't pay, but I want to live. I closed my eyes for a moment. I remembered the hospital rules. I remembered my boss. I remembered the warning. If you break the rules, you will be fired. Then I opened my eyes again. I will help you, I said. Her eyes filled with tears. Really? She asked. Yes, I said, but you must trust me. She nodded slowly. That night, I made a choice. After my shift ended, I did not go home. Instead, I stayed in the hospital. The halls became quiet. Most staff went home. Only a few night nurses stayed. I waited until it was late. Then I went back to the small room where Kieran was resting. She was asleep, but her breathing was still weak. I checked the time. It was past midnight. This was the moment. I opened the supply cabinet. Inside were medicines and tools. All of them were for patients who could pay. My hands stopped for a second. This is wrong, I thought. But then I looked at Kirayan. This is right, I told myself. I took the medicine. I prepared a small treatment. Slowly and carefully, I started to help her. Every sound made me nervous. Every step in the hallway made my heart jump. But I continued. I gave her medicine. I checked her temperature. I stayed by her side. Hours passed. The night was long. At one point, she opened her eyes. Doctor, she said softly. I am here, I said. Why are you helping me? She asked. I did not answer quickly. I thought about it. Then I said, Because you matter. She looked at me, surprised. No one ever said that to me, she whispered. I smiled a little. Well, I am saying it now. She closed her eyes again, and I stayed there, watching over her. That night changed everything. I broke the rules. But for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was truly a doctor. I did not know what would happen next. I did not know if someone would find out. But I knew one thing, I would not stop. Because Kieran Voss needed help. And I was the only one who chose to give it. The next morning, I felt very tired. I did not sleep at all. My eyes were heavy and my body was weak. But my mind was awake. I could only think about Kirayan. I stood outside the small room and took a deep breath before opening the door. She was still there. She was lying on the bed, quiet and still. For 1 second, my heart stopped. I was afraid, but then I saw her chest move slowly. She was breathing. I walked closer and checked her pulse again. It was still weak, but better than last night. That's good, I whispered. She opened her eyes slowly. Doctor, she said. Her voice was still soft, but stronger than before. I smiled. Good morning, Kieran. She looked at me for a moment, like she was trying to understand something. You came back, she said. Of course, I replied. She gave a small smile. No one comes back, she said. Her words were simple, but they hit my heart deeply. I did not know what to say, so I just nodded. I will check you again, I said. I listened to her chest, checked her temperature, and looked at her eyes. She was still very sick, but there was a small change. a small hope. You need more treatment, I told her. This will take time. She looked worried. I still have no money, she said. I know, I said quietly. Don't worry about that now. But inside, I was worried. I could not do this forever. Every time I used hospital medicine, I was breaking the rules again. If someone found out, I would lose everything. Still, I could not stop now. That day, I worked my normal shift. I saw many patients. I followed all the rules. I acted like everything was normal. But inside, I felt different. Every free moment I had, I thought about Karayan. Was she okay? Did she need help? At lunchtime, I quickly went to check on her. I made sure no one was watching. She was sitting up now, slowly drinking water. That's good, I said with a smile. She looked happy to see me. I feel a little better, she said. That's a good sign, I replied. But then I heard footsteps in the hallway. I quickly moved away from the bed and picked up a file, acting like I was just checking records. The door opened. It was Nurse Elira. She looked at me, then at Kirayan. Dr. Vale, she said. I didn't know we had a patient here. My heart started to beat fast. Oh, yes, I said, trying to sound calm. She just came in. Nurse Elira looked at Kieran carefully. Is she registered? She asked. There was a short silence. I forced a small smile. I am still checking her condition, I said. I will update the system later. Nurse Elira did not look convinced. She nodded slowly, but her eyes stayed on me for a moment. All right, she said. Please don't forget. You know the rules. Yes, I said. She left the room. I let out a slow breath. That was close. Kirian looked at me with worried eyes. I am sorry, she said. I am causing trouble for you. No, I said quickly. This is not your fault. But you can lose your job, she said. I looked at her for a moment. Maybe, I said, but right now you need to get better. She looked down. I don't understand, she said softly. Why are you doing this for me? I sat down next to her. Can I ask you something? I said. She nodded. Before you got sick, what did you want to do in your life? She was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, I wanted to be a doctor. I was surprised. A doctor? I asked. She nodded slowly. Yes, she said. I wanted to help people, like you are helping me now. Her voice became weaker. But I gave up, she added. Why? I asked. She looked at her hands. No money, no support, and now I am sick, she said. It's too late. I shook my head. It is not too late, I said. She looked at me, unsure. You are still here, I continued. You are still fighting. That means something. She was silent. I stood up. Right now, your only job is to get better, I said. We will think about the future later. She nodded slowly. That night, I stayed again. After everyone left, I returned to her room. Again, I took medicine from the supply room. Again, I broke the rules. But this time, it felt even more dangerous. Because now, someone was starting to notice. Nurse Elira's eyes stayed in my mind. She knows something, I thought. Still, I continued. I gave Karayan her treatment. I checked her again and again, and slowly, she started to improve. Her breathing became easier. Her face had a little more color. She could sit up without help. Every small change made me feel happy. One night, while I was writing notes, she spoke. "Dr. Zephyrin," she said. "Yes?" I replied. "If I get better, can I really become a doctor?" I looked at her. Her eyes were full of hope, but also fear. I smiled gently. "Yes," I said, "if you don't give up." She smiled for the first time, a real smile. "Then I will try," she said. At that moment, I felt something strong in my heart. Maybe this was not only about saving her life. Maybe this was about giving her a future. But outside that small room, something else was growing. Suspicion. People were starting to ask questions. And soon, the truth would not stay hidden anymore. The next few days were not easy. Kirian was getting better, yes. But the danger around us was also growing. I could feel it. Every time I walked through the hospital halls, I felt eyes on me. Nurses whispered. Some doctors looked at me for a moment too long. Something was wrong. Something was changing. One afternoon, I was called to the main office. My heart dropped. I stood in front of the door for a few seconds. I knew this was not a good sign. Then I knocked. "Come in," a voice said. I opened the door slowly. Inside, my supervisor was sitting at the desk. Dr. Halverin. He was a strict man. He followed every rule. He believed rules were more important than feelings. "Dr. Vale," he said, "please sit." I sat down quietly. He looked at some papers, then at me. "I have a question," he said. "Are you treating a patient without registration?" My hands felt cold. I tried to stay calm. "No," I said slowly. "Why do you ask?" He leaned back in his chair. "We have reports," he said. "Some staff say you are entering a room after hours. They say you are using supplies." I felt my heart beat louder. "I work late sometimes," I said. "That is all." He looked at me carefully. "You know our policy," he said. "No treatment without payment, no exceptions." "I know," I replied. There was a long silence. Then he spoke again. "If I find out you are breaking the rules," he said, "there will be serious consequences." I nodded. "I understand." He looked at me for a few more seconds, then waved his hand. "You may go." I stood up and left the room. As soon as I closed the door, I took a deep breath. That was close, I thought. But I also knew something important. I could not hide this forever. That evening, I went to see Kirian again. She was sitting up, reading a small old book. When she saw me, she smiled. "Doctor," she said, Look, I can read again without feeling dizzy. That's very good, I said with a soft smile. She looked much better now. Her face had color. Her eyes were brighter. She looked alive. But I could not feel happy for long. I sat down next to her. Kirain, I said, I need to tell you something. Her smile faded a little. What is it? She asked. People are starting to ask questions, I said. They may find out about this. She looked down. I knew this would happen, she said quietly. I stayed silent. If they find out, she continued, you will lose your job. Yes, I said. And it will be my fault, she added. No, I said quickly. It is my choice. She looked at me, her eyes full of emotion. Why would you risk everything for me? She asked again. This time, I did not look away. Because your life is important, I said, and because you still have a future. She was quiet. Then she said something I did not expect. I was going to give up, she whispered. I frowned slightly. What do you mean? She took a deep breath. Before I came here, I had no hope, she said. I was sick, alone, and tired. I thought, maybe it is better to stop trying. My chest felt tight. You mean, I said slowly, you wanted to give up on life? She nodded. Tears filled her eyes. Yes, she said. I thought no one cared if I lived or died. I did not speak. But then, she looked at me. You came back. You stayed. You helped me, even when you didn't have to. A tear fell down her cheek. You changed my mind, she said. You made me want to live again. I felt something deep in my heart. Something strong and painful and beautiful at the same time. You did that yourself, I said softly. I just gave you a chance. She shook her head. No, she said. You gave me hope. We sat in silence for a moment. Then I stood up. Then promise me something, I said. She looked at me. Don't give up again, I said, no matter how hard life becomes. She nodded slowly. I promise, she said. At that moment, I felt proud, but also afraid. Because I knew the truth, this could not continue much longer. That night, I went to the supply room again. I opened the cabinet, but this time, my hands stopped. I heard voices outside. 2 nurses were talking. I saw him go there again, one said. Yes, something is not right, the other replied. We should report this. My heart started racing. I stayed still, not making a sound. Their footsteps slowly moved away, but their words stayed. They will find out, I thought. I closed the cabinet slowly. I knew what this meant. Time was running out. The next day, everything changed. In the morning, I was called again. But this time, it was not just my supervisor. When I entered the room, there were 3 people waiting. Dr. Halvorin, Nurse Elira, and the hospital director. My heart sank. "Dr. Zephyron Vale," the director said. "We need to talk." I stood there silent. "We have checked the records," he continued. "There is no patient registered in that room. No escape now. We also checked the supply logs," he said. "Medicine is missing." The room felt very cold. Dr. Halvran looked at me. "Do you want to explain?" he asked. I looked at all of them. I thought about lying. I thought about making an excuse. But then I thought about Karayan, about her promise, about her future. I took a deep breath. "Yes," I said. "I treated her." Silence filled the room. I continued. "She had no money. She was dying. I could not leave her." The director's face became serious. "You broke hospital policy," he said. "Yes," I replied. "You used hospital supplies illegally." "Yes." "You understand what this means?" I looked down for a moment. Then I looked back at them. "Yes," I said quietly. Another silence. Then the director spoke again. "You are dismissed," he said. My world became still. "Effective immediately," he added. No more job, no more hospital. Everything gone. But inside my heart, I felt something else. Not regret, not fear, something stronger. Because I knew one thing. Kirayan was alive, and her story was not over yet. The day I left the hospital was very quiet. No one said goodbye. No one stopped me. I walked through the long hallway one last time. The same hallway where I worked for many years. The same place where I followed every rule until I didn't. My hands were empty. No white coat, no name badge. Just me. Just Zephyron. When I reached the main door, I stopped. I looked back. For a moment, I felt a small pain in my chest. This is over, I thought. Then I walked out. The air outside felt different. Cold, but free. I did not know what I would do next. I did not have a job. I did not have a plan. But I knew one thing. I needed to see Kirayan one last time. That evening, I waited near the hospital building. I could not go inside anymore, so I stood across the street, watching the entrance. Time passed slowly. People came in, people went out. Doctors, nurses, patients. Then, I saw her. Kirayan! She walked out of the hospital, slowly but strongly. She was not the same girl I first met. Her face had color. Her eyes were bright. Her steps were steady. She was alive. I felt a small smile on my face. She looked around, like she was searching for someone. Then she saw me. Her eyes became wide. "Doctor!" she called. She walked quickly toward me. "Dr. Zephyron!" she said again. I raised my hand slightly. "Just Zephyron now," I said with a soft smile. She stopped in front of me. Her eyes moved over me. "No coat," she whispered. I nodded. "They know," I said simply. Her face changed. "You lost your job because of me," she said. There was pain in her voice. I shook my head. No, I said, because of my choice. Tears filled her eyes. I'm so sorry, she said. Don't be, I replied. Look at you. She was quiet. You are standing, I said. You are breathing. You are alive. A tear rolled down her cheek. Yes, she said softly. And that is enough for me, I added. She wiped her tears, but more came. I don't know how to thank you, she said. You don't need to, I replied. But I want to, she said. I looked at her for a moment. Then live well, I said. That is enough. She nodded slowly. I will, she said. There was a small silence between us. Then she spoke again. I have something to tell you, she said. What is it? I asked. She took a deep breath. I am going to try again, she said. Try what? My dream, she said. I want to become a doctor. I felt a warm feeling in my chest. That is good, I said. I was accepted before, she continued, a small medical school, but I didn't go because I was sick and scared. She looked at me. But now I will go. I smiled. That makes me very happy, I said. I want to help people, she said, like you helped me. You will, I replied. I believe that. She looked at me with strong eyes. I won't forget this, she said. I won't forget you. You don't need to remember me, I said gently. Just remember why you started. She shook her head. No, she said. I will remember both. The sky was getting darker. Lights turned on in the street. People walked past us, but it felt like we were in our own quiet world. Zephyron, she said softly. Yes? You saved my life, she said. I looked at her. Then I shook my head slowly. No, I said. You chose to live. She smiled through her tears. Then, you gave me the reason, she said. I did not answer. Because maybe. She was right. We stood there for a little longer. Then she stepped back. I have to go, she said. There is still a long way for me. Yes, I said, but you will get there. She nodded. Then, before leaving, she did something I did not expect. She stepped forward and hugged me. It was a simple hug, but it was full of meaning. Thank you, she whispered. I closed my eyes for a moment. You're welcome, I said softly. Then she let go. She turned around and started walking away, step by step, strong, confident, alive. I watched her go until I could not see her anymore. And in that moment, I felt something deep inside me. Peace. Yes, I lost my job. Yes, I broke the rules, but I did something right. Something real, something human. Days passed. Life was not easy. I looked for work. Some hospitals said no. Some clinics did not trust me. But I did not regret anything. Because every time I thought about that small room, about that weak girl who said, I don't want to die. And the strong woman who walked away with a dream, I knew it was worth it. Months later, I received a letter. It was simple, no long words, just a few lines. Dear Zephyron, I started my first day at medical school today. I was scared, but I remembered your words. I will not give up. One day, I will become a doctor, and I will help someone just like you helped me. Thank you for giving me a future. Kirayan. I held the letter in my hands for a long time. Then I smiled. A real smile. Maybe I was no longer a doctor in that hospital, but in that moment, I still felt like one, because I learned something important. Rules are important, but kindness, compassion, and courage, they are stronger. They can save lives. And sometimes, breaking the rules is the right thing to do.